just like the Clintons, and they'll all march out, and they'll come into our community, Cincinnati. Yes, they'll come in Cincinnati, begging for your vote, giving you nothing. Let's see, it's a long way between now and November. But our focus, and I keep saying to you, Mr. Nathan Ivey, over and over and over again, you have to put on the platform reparation. And I hope you take a day and a time and dedicate your show between now and before that election for reparation. So any of these hypocritical candidates, be it statewide, local, city, Cincinnati, that cannot sit down with Nathan Ivey and talk about reparation, you should not give them your vote. Simple as that. Because it may not affect John from Princeton, us older people, but it's for your kids and your kids' kids. And if you don't understand that, then you're smoking something I don't know about. Okay, have a nice day.
Thank you for the call. That's John from Princeton, New Jersey. I told you, man, it's dangerous. You open up the phone lines here on this show. We on the internet. You know, people can be a bit more loose. You never know. A mind is a dangerous thing to waste. That's all I can say. Oh, dear. You done blew Drop's head up. Wherever Drop is, he's floating on the ceiling right now. Talking about he was making good points. He wasn't making no damn good points yesterday. Hell, I remember I was I was here. I was in that conversation. I don't remember any good points. Dear Lord. Dear Lord. Well, I just posted a link during my conversation with John because, you know, you can do two things at once these days. And I posted a link, which is very easy to do. I posted a link to what could be a new law in the state of Ohio. A new law in the state of Ohio. And the new law would make it illegal for Ohio drivers to touch their phone while they're actually operating a vehicle. Now, how many people drive a lot? If you drive a lot, you drive to work, you drive to wherever you drive to, the grocery store, or wherever you're buying stuff, or to your side piece's house, your jump off's house. You drive a lot, right? Go pick up your drugs. You know, you drive a lot. And have you ever noticed just the state of Ohio's drivers, like the state of Cincinnati's drivers? It ain't good. Like, where's the police at? Man, I see people going through lights like it's nothing. What does red mean? Red means nothing to some of these Cincinnati drivers. I see people go through lights like they got the right to. And did you know that according to the Ohio State Highway Patrol, that in 2018, they say that 51 people died in crashes because of distracted driving. Now, what I will say is that humankind, human beings, Americans, Cincinnatians, Ohioans are more distracted now than ever before. I personally believe that anybody with a smartphone has adult HDD. You do. You got attention deficit disorder. ADD. Okay? Or whatever they're calling it these days. Because it's just the nature of the new technology. Like, you always getting new impulses and bells and whistles and chimes and little beeps and R2D2 sounds is always emanating from your phone. You always getting a Facebook notification, Twitter notification. You just got a direct message. You got an email. And Lord forbid that you connect your smartphone to your job. Oh, my God. Why did you do that? Okay. Yeah, okay, Cam. Great. Thank you so much, brother. I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be super dope. Looking forward to it. Why would you ever? How many people have their smartphone connected to their work? Ooh. Now, some people, you got the kind of job where you have to. You know, you've got to get every email, and it's got to be timely. You can't be sitting around in the dark for 24 hours. How many people live in that world? Because I'm in that world. Like, I can't be in the dark for 24 hours. I can't not get messages. It's just not going to work. That costs me money. You know, I can miss a message that could be, that could be major dollars for me. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with you. You know, you can get a message that's major dollars for you. Entrepreneurs, hustlers, whatever. So because of it, man, I'm glued to my phone. I'm always here and here. I'm trying to watch a little Netflix here. I mean, god damn. We all distracted these days. If you got a smartphone, you're distracted. If you got shit to do and kids and working, you're distracted like a mofo. And I don't know about you, but not only do I drive these streets, but my wife, my children, people that I know and care about driving these streets. And it scares the living daylights out of me, man. When I see just the level of distraction, it is bad. Like, you got to already deal with the fact that just in general, there's always going to be a high percentage of Ohio drivers that just don't know what they're doing. How many people can remember anything they learned, like from the book, that when you were taking your driving test? Like, personally, I think that I want to say every 5 years, but I would say at the very least within a 10-year time frame, in my opinion, Ohio drivers should have to like re-up. Like, you got to go through the test again, go through the whole thing again, because it's just too easy. It's just too easy. And then you got people that's on heroin. You got people that's on some all kinds of serious drugs that make them even more distracted. So now you're distracted and you're high. You're driving around fiddling with your damn phone. I can't tell you how many times I've been at a light waiting to take a left turn. The light only goes for a short amount of time. The motherfucker in front of me just sitting there. I get up to the side of them. They on their damn phones. You're on your phone. It is, God bless you with two hands. A steering wheel works best when it's two-handed, believe it or not. Like, if you're trying to take a major left turn or a major right turn, you can do it with one hand. I do it all the time. You can do it in one hand. You know what I'm saying? But it works best if you got two hands on the wheel in case something should happen. And I see people turning left, the phone's up on their ear. The one thing that it's a simple technology. One of the most safest and the most simple technologies that you'll see in a lot of like rideshare cars, you get in a Lyft or Uber, is that the Lyft driver or the Uber driver will have he'll have one of these little devices where he can suction cup his or her phone, so that it's right there on the dash. And it's very easy to read it. You can talk or whatever. I don't understand why more people don't do that. I got one in my car. It's $5. I got it at Walmart in a discount bin. It works like a charm. I put that little baby on there. Boom. I can see the screen. If I want to talk to the wifey or somebody, I hit the speaker button. I'm hands-free. It is so easy to be hands-free. That's why I have no tolerance for this. I like this idea. I posted a link so you can look at the legislation yourself. This applies to you if you live in Ohio. To this point, it is not law, but a new bill could make it illegal to use a cell phone while driving, no matter what you're using it for. So if you're on the Waze app or you're trying to do Google Map, here's what you're supposed to do. But see, people are so caught up with themselves. People are so self-absorbed that they don't even think about doing the most obvious thing. Because somebody in the audience right now is thinking, well, Nate, what if I'm trying to find directions? Well, I'm a big believer that some things should remain old school. You know what old school does? You pull your ass over, you put the car in park, and then you type in your address. But no. People don't want to do that. No. You want to take difficult turns and go through busy intersections while you're trying to fumble around and put it in at the same time. Oh, I just need a second more to put the address in. Pull your ass over, put the car in park, do your business, then get back on the streets. People don't want to do that. And some of that is because people procrastinate. Motherfuckers always running late. Always. And so when you're running late, you got to press through the light. Oh, I know it's going to turn yellow, but I got to get through because I'm 5 minutes late. I want to get your ass up and get to work on time. Leave early. But procrastination Patty out here, and there's no Patties I know that's in the audience this morning. No. She want to leave, got to be at work in 10 minutes, and goddamn well it takes you 17 minutes to get to work. You know it takes you 17 minutes to get to work. Why are you leaving the house 10 minutes till? People do that shit all the time. Adults do that shit all the time. And that's why these people be out here running through lights and being all stressed out, because you ain't doing it like a king. Kings don't rush. Kings and queens move at their own pace because they leave with enough time. Give yourself time. I know I'm speaking to the choir here. We've got a lot of smart, intelligent, highly motivated people in the audience. I'm just reminding you what you already know, B. But I like this. So there are no exceptions for being on your GPS, because all you got to do is pull your lazy ass over, put the car in park, put in the address, put it on, I don't even know what those things are called. Put it back in like the hands-free holder, and then put it in drive and go to your destination. It is so simple, B. It's so simple. It is so simple. Lawmakers hope these proposed changes will result in fewer deaths related to distracted driving. All I know, man, is I'll be pissed off if I get into an accident because some fuck on their phone. I'm going to cuss them out. I'm going to call them all kind of names and just get all disrespectful because I'm pissed. Because now you done hit my car, possibly injure me and my family because you on the phone talking about nothing. Half the people on the phone ain't even talking about nothing. I think, anyway. At least that's what my grandmother used to tell me. So what you in the phone for, boy? You ain't talking about nothing. At the time, I was talking about the most important shit in the world. Looking back, I wasn't talking about nothing. I wasn't talking about nothing important. Nothing important. Somebody's saying sound check. I'm not sure. I am here. Everything on my end is working good. TNT writes, conferences are fundraising opportunities. These organizations don't fund itself. If we don't put our money together, we won't have buying power to fight back. Other groups do. It's not always deceptive when black organizations are trying to do the same. You're right about that. You're right. I don't assume. I'm not assuming anything negative about what these brothers and sisters are doing. I'm assuming they're doing everything positive and the money's going to go to the right place and all that kind of stuff. I'm not super suspicious as soon as, somebody black starts asking for stuff. I know that goes back to a legacy of slavery, but I guess for whatever reason, I just didn't develop that kind of reaction. I'm assuming everything's going to be great. I'm sure it's going to be a great time. I would love to see Shahrazad Ali. Matter of fact, I'm going to reach out to her and see if we can't get her on the show. Man, I ran into Shahrazad Ali once. Here's my I got two Shahrazad Ali stories. I'm over at some Kroger store. I think I was at Kennard, maybe, doing something for my former employer. We were doing like some live callbacks, which, you love doing live callbacks because you get paid for that in commercial radio. You go to the Kroger store and call back once every 30 minutes. They'll pay you a couple $100 for that, something like that. I can't remember what it really was. Anyway, I'm over there doing my thing. Shahrazad Ali walks up. Says, Nate, I love your show. Just wanted to meet you. Blew me the fuck away. Because she is super dope. Anyone who don't like Shahrazad Ali don't like themselves. Period. You don't love you. Stop the hate. Let me go back. I want to recognize and say hello to the choppers this morning. I see Brother Mazone was first inside the chop shop. Hopefully he didn't fall asleep. He must have been sleepy this morning. Followed by Tracy. She writes, hi. Mike Davis writes, rise and shine, young stars. Good to see everybody. Mason Marler writes, morning, Nate and the choppers. Same OG. Like that. Mike Davis writes, he's saying good morning to Tracy. Brenda writes, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you, Brenda. Black Russia, who we heard from, is in the house. He writes, good morning, alt middle. Bernie won't won last night. Joe is still sleepy. Kelly writes, good morning. Pat Rogers writes, good morning. Portland and Denver don't have G League teams. Doesn't a G League team have a big brother NBA team of that city? Yes, they do. Black Russia writes, no, Cincy won't support it. We don't have an arena for them. Well, if they're able to update the U.S. Bank Arena, boom, there it is. CJ writes, good morning, everyone. Hey, good to see you, CJ. Brother Mazone writes, this city is so KK clan conservative to have another pro basketball league. This is a baseball and soccer town. Well, it just became a soccer town. It's a baseball town. I think this is a sports town. Like, I think that people will support the Kings, and I think that people will support this G League team, I think. Do you think that one will, like, cannibalize the other? Like, you've already got the Ohio Kings, ABA, semi-pro. They're doing their games out of Cincinnati State. Matter of fact, they got a game this Saturday at 6 p.m. Black owned. And do you think that this new G League team idea, right? Because I don't think they have any players. I haven't seen any icons, logos, but obviously they're getting close to something or they wouldn't be in the news, right? Or they might be trying to get support. Do you think that it will cannibalize the Ohio Kings? Like, people to be like, man, well, so let me see. I don't know what the G League schedule is. Like, is the G League schedule the same schedule? Pat says there's 2 episodes for the show today. Really? I didn't know that. I had no idea because I've been talking. So I didn't know. Let me double check this real quick. The Spreaker is, I just love me some Spreaker. Oh, I see that. Again, my apologies. I'm not sure what happened. It's usually when that happens, that means that the show stopped and started a new stream for whatever reason. And usually from my side, I found that to be a connection issue. Either, Either in terms of my connection to the internet or the connection to Spreaker. But again, while I'm on the air, I don't really know. I just got to keep going. Terrence writes, good morning, everyone. Nate, local races are beginning to heat up. Absolutely. Local is everything. Local is everything. It's all about local. Good morning to you, Cam. Good morning to you, Drop. You see, the Alphas and AKAs are hosting a blood drive, march, and voter registration down at the Freedom Center. I'll post the info in the Facebook group sometime this morning. Nate, thank you so much, Terrence. Mike Jones in the house. He writes, good morning. Ray's in the house. Wayne Box Miller has a great article about Dennis Bettis in the Inquirer. Mason Muller writes, Warren shut Bernie down with an answer about women winning an election. Got to give her credit. Sharp writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Hump day. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Cam writes, I was proud to hear the honor to the principal of Everson Academy. I went to elementary there when it was Parham Elementary. Okay, great. That's good to hear. Drop just posted a must-see tweet. Let me see this. Appreciate it, man. They wake your ass up early in the morning, right? Appreciate it. Let's see. Nathan, the show started again. This one ended and a new episode began. Shula, I'm just seeing this. Thank you so much. I apologize for that. Not sure. Shang Tsung writes, damn, why did shit get cut off? I do not know. On my end, it never cut off. On my end, it was a stream. And obviously, I must have missed something because I'm looking at it now and I can clearly see it. But I can't address it until the show ends. So unfortunately, I'm not sure what that means for our listeners. I'm very disappointed in that. Very disappointed. I hate when that happens. And then it starts a whole new one. And for me, we just lose all that momentum that we had with all the comments and things like that. So if you're listening right now, I'm in I guess it's the first stream. It's very interesting. Let me see. Mr. Avery's in the house. Good to see you. Kamir writes, Shahrazad Ali is in Hidden Colors. She also appears in LWS too. LWS. Oh yeah, she been on Lincoln show lately? Is that the Lincoln Ware show you meant? I don't know. I have to call Lincoln and see if I can get her contact information because I want to talk with her here on this show. Lincoln's a good sport. It's funny, speaking of Lincoln Ware, this morning, do I really want to talk about this? No, I do not actually. Let's see here. Shane Sunrise, Shahrazad Ali went to Taft with my mother. Nate, CNN, breaking news. The entire Russian government has resigned. I saw that. The entire Russian government resigned. I'm not really sure that's possible because Putin put in place some measures that would water down the power of the person that will follow him. I mean, Putin is the president for life. He steps down every once in a while just to make things look kind of good. Somebody else will be the president. He'll be like the minister of Russia. He'll be the minister of something else, but he's really the president. He'll put a puppet in place, not the first time he's done it. And then, after that particular term is up, he'll run for re-election again and win with 97% of the vote. Cam writes, the Democratic debate last night was equivalent to a stale butter biscuit with weak watered down gravy. Answer writes, Nathan, how's it going with getting Gwen McFarland on to discuss the Democratic vision for the country from the county in 2020 and forward? I will reach out again. See if we can make that happen. Because I'm very interested. I would love to hear her vision for the county in 2020. It'd be very interesting. Cam's in the house. CT, it's a new day to continue to fight. They are not endorsing a primary candidate in the Nikki Foster / Kate Schroeder race. So, Nate, there's a current example. Okay. Is there an incumbent? Again, I'm a little bit off. I don't really recognize those names there, but is there an incumbent in that race? It's going to be interesting. Shane Sunrise, losing $50,000 in student loan debt will raise your credit score by about 6 to 7 points. Only 6 to 7 points? I don't know. I mean, there's a big difference between being, let's say, $12,000 in debt and being $62,000 in debt. I don't know about you, but if I had to choose, I'd choose to not be in debt at all. But if I had a choice, I would rather be only $12,000 in debt rather than $62,000 in debt. Just psychologically, what I'm saying? Just not even talking about credit score, but just psychologically, knowing that your student loan debt is only $12,000. That's nothing. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out there that's $75,000, $50,000, $40,000, $60,000 in student loan debt. So student loan relief in the measure of $50,000 would give them a whole new attitude on their finances, I think, potentially. Tanika's in the house. Good to see you. Congrats to the notorious B.I.G. on being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Hip hop needs its own Hall of Fame. At this point, I agree. I've never understand why rap legends go into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Rock and roll didn't create hip hop. It's paternalistic. Who allowed this to happen? I've been to the Cleveland Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's a hell of to me, the most impressive thing about it is the building itself. And where it's located, it's located right there on the lake. It is beautiful. I mean, not the shit inside of it. I mean, that's hit or miss. But the building itself is an architectural wonder. And where it's located in Cleveland is worth going. Now, the shit inside and who they think is the rock and roll legend, I could give a damn about that. But it was cool. They got a terrace on the backside. You're about 3 stories up. Wonderful view of the lake. Great place to have a drink with somebody you like. Trust me. Sissy Tigress in the house. Good to see you. Kamala can beat Trump in a debate, hands down. Beating him in an election in the mayor KKK, of course she wouldn't. She doesn't have a chance. Is that right? All right. Good to see. That's good to see. Huh. Interesting. Just left a long ass production meeting. At least they serve breakfast. What did I miss? Well, apparently you missed the fact that there's 2 shows this morning. So what I'm going to have to do now is go get the audio and merge them together. Thanks, Spreaker. Like I don't already have shit to do today. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. These Negroes. Nathan, are you going to talk about the thousands of women marching all over the world? Yes, I will. Yes, I was reading from the first feed. I wanted to make sure I got all the comments in from the first feed. Appreciate it. Man, I like that picture, man. That was the block picture that we did. That was cool. Yeah, that was cool. That was super cool. I like it. I like it a whole lot. Yeah, what are you doing this Monday? What do you got going on this Monday? I'd like to know. Clue Magic's in the house. Good to see you, Clue. Always a wreck on 75 South above 275. People driving from Westchester are mad arrogant. Camille writes, right, drivers need to leave their phone alone. Exactly. I mean, again, I'm sure you're out and about, going to pick up your groceries or your drugs or your side pieces or whatever you're going to pick up. I'm joking. And, you notice what is going on. Just look to the left and right of you when you get a chance to. And you're going to see people on their phone driving, maneuvering difficult spaces, trying to do everything with their offhand. It's a problem. And the other thing is, it's like seatbelt. It's different than seatbelts because seatbelts save your life in an accident. What I'm worried about is some distracted driver not paying attention and running into me or running into you or running into my wife or running into a friend or a family member. That's what I'm worried about. I think Spreaker was hating on me this morning. Nate, when will you and Donnie conduct a debate? I've been thinking about that. Reading my mind, I've been thinking about that. Karamia writes, women are powerful by numbers. We can shift the dynamic of our government, lobbying our power to change every political offense made to hinder our rights. Right. TNT writes, why not invest in the people to make this nation compete on a global level? To capitalize on education to the degree that people are owing the amount of a house after 4 years is freaking ridiculous. Let me see. Ray writes, can someone call in and let Nathan know there's a whole new conversation on feed 2? I was aware of it, Ray. I just wanted to get those points in from feed 1. Thing 1, thing 2, feed 1, feed 2. I like one feed. That's what I like. I agree with you. I agree with you completely, Karamia. I mean, there's just power in numbers, whether it's women or people of color or a particular religious group, or, I mean, if you get all the Scientologists together, there's more power when there's a bunch of them. It's just one or two. You know what I'm saying? You know what Scientology is? Oh, yeah. When I retire, I've been joking for years. When I retire, give me a little church. But now I'm thinking I'll become an executive in Scientology. That'll be better. Do whatever you want to then, like Tom Cruise. It's amazing that everybody watches these Tom Cruise movies and he's like the leader of a cult. It's amazing. It's the truth. Okay, let me give you some confirmation here. Okay, so tomorrow we get a chance to talk with Miss Nakia Grooms. And we'll get the story straight from her as to what went down in her bar, over there in, thank you so much, Terrence. I've seen that. Good information for everybody who are interested. And we'll get a sense of what really went down with her and her bar in St. Bernard. And some people are saying, it was a bad idea from the beginning. I don't agree with that. I think that you learn. I think if you go super hard and you learn a lot, it may not end the way you had it in mind. But if you're working hard and you picking up skills, that's a reward in and of itself that you can apply to anything. So what that sister, in my opinion, learned over the last year, she could take that to any neighborhood and do her thing. And I hope that she does. I saw that, maybe J. Raj had been in contact with her, and he's a very successful black entrepreneur here in the city of Cincinnati. A lot of people know J. Raj. You got the Copa downtown, a lot of businesses, the Treehouse, and I'm not sure what that means at all, but perhaps he gave her some advice that she can use to do whatever she wants to do. She may not want to do another bar. I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow. Okay. Also tomorrow, we're going to talk with a brother who's now a Amazon best-selling author. He's a barber and an author. And he'll call in tomorrow and give us the thoughts on his new book. It's about relationships, but in particular, there's something in particular that really stuck out to me that I thought, okay, yeah, this is a message we all need to be reminded of. That's tomorrow. And then we'll catch up with Kelly Prather on Friday. And she is a black female running for Hamilton County Commissioner. I may have another candidate as well on Friday, but until I confirm, I don't want to say anything. Okay, so just to give you a heads up of some of the conversations we'll have starting tomorrow and throughout the rest of the week. So today's Wednesday. We got a couple days left, and I want to end. As always. I want to end the same way I started, on a high note. But let's go to the phones. Let's welcome in Drop. Good morning, Drop. How are you? Hey, good morning, Drop. How are you?
What's up, Mr. Ivy? How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm glad. I'm doing good. I survived the first reboot of 2020 of the Nathan Ivy Show.
Yeah, man. Hopefully the first and last reboot.
But Nate, it's funny that you were talking to John from Princeton, a.k.a. Zorro, and he was giving me props on what I was talking about as far as how Obama can help candidates behind the scenes with money and data list and the old school mailing list and stuff like that. So it was just funny. John was giving me a shout out and boom, reboot. But Mr. Ivy, this is why I call. You said that you were impressed with Elizabeth Warren's proposal to put in an executive order on her first day and eliminate all student debt.
I don't know if I used the word impress. I said that she has my attention.
Okay, your attention. Okay, so Mr. Ivy, someone in the chop shop, and man, damn it, my memory is losing. They said that why is the government relieving people who went to college of their debt, but not going after the universities for charging their sky-high tuition fees, like they go after corporations and the evil CEOs? Mr. Ivy, help me with that real quick.
I don't understand what your point is. I'm not sure how I can help.
Okay.
I don't see the government going after corporations. In fact, what we just saw is that the Republicans and Trump signed this historic tax, proposal that essentially allowed these corporations to keep a lot more of their money. So I don't see anybody going after the corporation.
Okay, but Mr. Ivy, the universities charge so much for tuition in certain schools. You have people running scams. I mean, you had some people go to jail for this, Mr. Ivy. Running scams.
Well, Trump should have went to jail for it,
No, I ain't say nothing about Trump.
Well, he was running a scam with a university. That's why I thought you was going with
Nate, come on. The Trump University is no different from Dr. Boyce Watkins' My Black World University.
Sure it is.
I mean, come on, Nate.
Sure
it ain't no real university. So
sure
stop
it is.
Quit trying to distract me.
I'm not trying to distract you. I mean, there's two significant differences. Number one, Trump is the president, but Boyce Watkins is not. And number two, you don't have thousands of people filing lawsuits against Boyce Watkins claiming that essentially that he swindled them. Nobody's saying about Boyce Watkins.
But Donald Trump wasn't president. This stuff you're talking about has nothing to do with him being president. He was a private citizen, Nate.
He was the president when he paid him off. He was in the White House when they all got paid off.
Donald Trump was a pitch man. He was a salesman. He had wine, steaks, schools. That's what he did. And then he ran for president. So, Nate, that's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And you know what I'm talking about, how the liberal Democrat will go after corporate America, evil millionaires and billionaires, and want to take their money because they're greedy, but they don't say nothing to the universities, and they use the money and maybe the poor decisions of some of these students to sign these loans instead of working their way through and trying other alternatives, and they accumulate all these debts. And politicians use it
other alternatives
to
like
get
stripping,
votes.
selling dope.
Nate, she's doing it to get votes, Nate. Who goes to college in the black community?
They're all doing it.
Who goes to college in the black community, Nate?
To get votes.
She can't get the young black vote. She's trying to get the young black vote from Bernie. See, Black Russia, who is a seasoned political operative, he called it earlier. When he called in and talked about this, Nate, he talked about this, how Bernie Sanders has a lock, and Elizabeth Warren is trying to get stuff. I mean, come on, Nate, look at the conflict that's going on with them. Last night on the debate, that was the only little excitement for the whole show, because Elizabeth Warren, she knows Obama has already said that he will not allow Bernie Sanders to get the nomination. That's out there, Mr. Ivy. So when you see these little brush-ups within the party, they're fighting each other. No, Nate, all this is orchestrated. It was a reason you didn't see no black faces up there on the podium last night. So when Elizabeth Warren comes out and proposes to relieve all student debt, she trying to get the Bernie bros, Nate.
Well, she didn't say all student debt. She said up to $50,000.
No, yes, but who would benefit from that, from her constituents or from the American voters? Young people, Nate.
Yeah. White, black, green, Latino, whoever, right. It wouldn't just be a black thing.
Right. It's the young vote. She wants to get that young vote from Bernie. That's why Nate, it was only her and Bernie in the room when she accused Bernie of saying that a woman can't win. Nate, come on. If you know politics, Nate, that was all set up. Just like when Kamala Harris, a.k.a. the fun aunt, she did the same thing with Joe Biden, accusing him of being a racist and a segregationist. Right, Mr. Ivy?
No. And then also, it's not really confirmed.
That was a weak-ass no.
Okay. Well, it's not really confirmed that Obama actually said that about Sanders. Because from what I remember, it was kind of like the news article said that he said this privately. But then when you read the article, the person who they were quoting wouldn't confirm or deny as to whether Obama really said it. So it's not like a video of him saying it or not, saying that he would stop Bernie if he was going to get the nomination.
Okay, but Nate, it's out there.
Yeah,
people who know politics,
the story that I just
and pleasure
explained is out there, and it doesn't say explicitly. There's no evidence that Obama said that himself. It's speculation and other people around him that he might have said it, and none of them will confirm.
Mr. Ivy,
yeah.
Do I have to school you again? What was the headline?
But when did you school me the first time? You got to school me the first time.
The headline was Barack Obama says Bernie Sanders will not get the nomination.
Right.
That was the headline.
That was the headline. But as you tell me all the time, you got to go beyond the headline and read the article. Did you read the article?
Yes, but Mr. Ivy,
I'm going to post it in the shop right now so people can read it for themselves.
I'm using it as a comparison. I'm not debating the content. I'm talking about how the media and the Democrats and how they operate. Okay? So it's pretty obvious, like I said. You had a situation with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. It catapulted her. But it didn't. She couldn't get the black vote from Joe Biden. So Team Light Skin is gone. So now Elizabeth Warren, because she knows she's in a struggle with Bernie. That is her competition, not Buttigieg, not Sleepy Joe, and definitely not Amy Klobuchar. So she has to get some people from Bernie. So she leaks this conversation that it was only her and Bernie. So, I mean, come on, Nate. So we're going to see if it works, but she had a good comeback last night. She was ready. Her response was good, saying that the men on stage had lost like 10 elections or something along that line. But my whole point, Nate, of why she threw out the student loan relief, it was all strategic, Mr. Ivy.
Obviously.
That's what I'm here for.
Listen, but these are candidates. Everything they say is strategically placed to attract votes. That's not a criticism. That's a truism. That's what they're doing right now. Same thing with Trump. You know, he's
Did
been
you see
campaigning.
His rally last night?
No, I didn't see that.
Did you see his counter rally last night, Mr.
Clips
Ivy?
of the rally. I did not see
that
it live.
That is embarrassing. That was embarrassing, Mr. Ivy. In some Trump pro Trump outlets and on social media, Nate, they were showing the split screen of the 4, 5 desperate Democrats, all white and pasty. The makeup was horrible, and they showing the crowd in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Nate. Again, I'm not saying Trump is a lock, but I keep saying, Nate, the Democrats just keep making it easier and easier. And then in the coming weeks, we got the fake impeachment trial happening. So it's just that Donald Trump, he is a Republican politician that the Democrats have no playbook for. They are doing it on the fly. And every time Donald Trump, after 3 years of learning these people and clearing the field in the swamp to the point to where he got people where where they need to be. And I'm just saying, Nate, from a political
the first 2 years was horrible. I mean, he lost his national security
he was
advisor.
adjusting.
Yeah, he was adjusting all right because he put a whole bunch of he put a whole bunch of creatures in the swamp. A whole lot of corrupt people in the and they had to. It took 2 years. Price.
Nate?
The results is a chaotic administration. That was the result, at least for the short term.
But one of my hashtags, Mr. Ivy, you've seen it many times on Twitter. It's not how you start; it's how you finish.
And I agree with that.
So Donald Trump has basically completed his first term because after this trial is over and we have the February 3rd Iowa caucus, it is official. It is officially campaign season. Everything is 100% campaign for the Democrats and the Republicans. So Trump is going to even turn it up a notch. He's got money up the yin-yang. He's got over a 90% approval among Republicans. His national average is around 44%. So, I mean, Mr. Ivy, I'm just saying, the Democrats got work to do. And if it's a choice of those 6 people that were on stage last night, three old white guys, a booty judge, and 2 white chicks. Drop Squad 52, dropping science to anyone who wants to catch it. Peace.
Sounds like a Wayans comedy or something like that, the way he described that. Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. 513-873-7134. Let me check my time here. Looking at my Gucci, it's about that time, huh? We got more time. Let's do it. Yeah, Terrence brings out $100 trillion deficit. Nobody's talking about the deficit. Now let a Democrat win in 2020. All you're going to hear about is the deficit. We can't pay for these liberal ideas. The deficit. The deficit. What about our kids? The deficit. You ready for it? That's the game. That's the way the Republican Party sets the table for the Democrats, right? It's it's yours now. You go ahead and hold the seat. But you got a huge deficit. I'll be honest with you. I know that the crew from the Cut to the BS podcast, they'll be back with you today, scheduled to be back at 7 p.m. today. Tomorrow, NAACP, Truth to Power podcast, 1 p.m. And of course, Is It Just Me with Donnie B, who's been under the weather the last couple of weeks, at 12:30 p.m. on a Friday. And more podcasts to come. More podcasts to come. But anyway, I know they talked about it last week. I still don't know what the whole story is with Meghan Markle, and I don't know. I don't know why they left, and I don't quite understand it. I see people have been posting it, so obviously it's something that people are interested in. I just don't know the details. Did they leave because of racism and the media and the pressure and the family and all this kind of stuff? So now they're taking a break from being royal, as if you could really do that. You're still a royal. They should get a reality television show. What I say, that's what everybody else does. What are your plans this coming Monday? What will you be doing? Let me see. There we go. What will you be doing this upcoming Monday? Do you have plans? Are you going to be at home? Are you going to step out? Love to get your thoughts. I'm going to be down at the Museum Center for about, I don't know, I can't remember, maybe 40 minutes, something like that. We'll just say an hour. And talking about the history of black journalism with some other very sharp, intelligent, smart people here in the city of Cincinnati. I'll live stream it. You can check it out if you're interested. If you're out and about, stop by and say hi. Say what's up. Oh, that is so dope. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. I love it. That's so dope. All right, let's go back to the phones here. Again, open your mind before you open your mouth. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning to you, Guy. How are you?
Hey, what's going on? You sound kind of low. Shang Tsung, what's going on?
Is this better?
Yeah, it's better. How you doing, sir?
I'm pleasant. How are you?
Doing great. Straight from Mortal Kombat here with us. Glad to have you.
Well, I'm just turning into the people I already killed.
Nothing wrong with that.
Shang Tsung.
Yeah,
that's all.
Shang Tsung being Shang Tsung. I get it.
Exactly.
What's on your mind, brother?
Nothing. You asked what's wrong with Harry and the prince and his bride. I mean, like I told you, it's basically a 35-year-old man moved out of his grandmother's basement. That's all. There's no story there. If you ask me, I don't understand what the big hype about it is either. But then on some level, it is kind of not spooky, but it's weird that, like, dude, you would give up your royalty for love like that. I guess that's what it is. Love, lust, whatever it is. I mean, I just think that's crazy that he would do that.
It's like coming to America from Europe.
I mean, well, he's coming to North America because they're going to stay in Canada.
Oh, coming to North America.
Yeah. So they're going to stay in, yeah.
Isn't that like the prince? Well, of course, he came to America in that movie to find a bride and all that kind of stuff, but.
Right. I mean, he found his bride. I mean, and that's another, it's just like the woman with the bar in St. Bernard. Like, what did you expect going over in England?
I don't know, be treated fairly, to be able to live your life.
You're black.
To be able to live your life, to be treated fairly, to marry who you want to marry, no matter what she looks like, something like that.
There's just some situations people put themselves in that it's like, I have no sympathy for you. What did you expect? Going over there to England, who's, their history of racism dating back to the, transatlantic slave trade.
I mean, I would say that about somebody that gets caught up in the dope game or some other criminal enterprise and end up behind bars. You get what you get. But I'm not going to say that about somebody that opens a legitimate business, has no real complaints,
love don't conquer all
and gets
like
railroaded. That's a whole different circumstance, B.
No, it's not to me, because now he up here, they're acting like they're royals anyway over here because he up there pitching to Bob Iger of Disney for her to do voiceovers. It's the same thing with Gabrielle Union. It's the same thing with Aisha Curry. You got to readjust your roles in the relationship, lady. You wanted to be with this royalty. You either deal with it or you got to leave him alone. But he decided to leave, and I'm like, dude. You'll never be king because your older brother has 2 sons, and your dad is still alive, so you'll probably never be king. But at the same time, like I said, I'm not giving up my royalty for nobody. Blood is thicker than water, I thought. You get what I'm saying, B?
I understand your point, but again, overall,
you just don't like it. I understand.
No, I understand the point you're trying to make. I just disagree with you completely. Like, I'm not even talking about the Royals. I'm talking about this sister, Nakia Grooms, who, by the way, it looks like she'll be on the show tomorrow. So I hope you keep the same energy because you be changing. You say
I ain't
one
never
thing,
changed no
you
energy.
be changing.
I ain't never changed up no energy.
You change your energy. Your whole energy changed with Tracy Hunter.
I was
Completely.
trying to be respectful of your guests.
So your energy
I don't
changed.
want the black lion treatment.
So you're not the black lion. You ain't got to worry about that. Don't try to bring him into it. So like I said, your energy changes. So hopefully your energy was changed the same.
You bring Tracy Hunter again. You bring Tracy Hunter on again. I'm gonna ask her. Have you come to terms with the fuckery you caused?
No, you not. You gonna
I promise
Mitch
you I
out.
will.
Well, you might now because I've been messing with you ever since your energy changed.
Well, listen, I had the same energy when she was on your show.
No, you
I
didn't.
just asked her a very professional question.
No, you didn't.
What did she do? She tried to sidestep it by well, that's what I was taught by the Ohio Supreme Court.
She was on for over an
I
hour.
did anything wrong. She was trying to use them as a scapegoat.
Like I said, man, you're right. But I would apply that mentality that you used earlier to putting yourself in a bad situation to other situations. You out here running around in the dope gang, running with the wrong crowd, something like that. But if you're a legitimate, honest business owner, I'm not going to hold it against you because you chose to be in St. Bernard.
I am, because business is location, right? You heard that phrase.
Yeah, but out of context. Yeah. You're taking it out of context.
And then to top it off, you try to be a black bar. How often do you think we want to go up in St. Bernard?
Apparently, it was offered enough to be a nuisance to the white folks up there.
I mean, it might have been 10 people in there nightly for them to be calling it a nuisance. You don't know how many people were in there.
You're right. I don't. But however many people were in there, it was enough for somebody to say it was a nuisance.
And St. Bernard is always mentioned with Elwood Place, right? So don't they got the same police department?
Outside my knowledge.
Okay. I mean, that's because, no, they got the same school district, St. Bernard Elwood Schools, I thought. But regardless, the point is that's just a bad spot for a black bar. I see what you were trying to do.
So where's a good spot for a black bar?
Where that coffee shop is. Downtown is isolated away from all the Main Street stuff, but it's sitting by itself. What is it? Black coffee?
Black owned? Black coffee?
So that's a good. It's a coffee shop on some street, like by ninth. No,
I know you. It's a couple blocks up from City Hall. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've been in there a few times.
Yeah, it's only deterrent is there's a real, real seriously gay bar across the street.
Yeah, but they already got that spot. So she can't move in there.
Right. So, okay, pick something different. That's all. I mean, I feel for her. She probably had her dream ripped out, but on some level, it's like, you made a bad decision, babe. That's all.
Well,
you learn from it.
You can face racism anywhere in the greater Cincinnati area. Quite honestly.
I mean, you can face racism on this show.
Okay. So her location ain't the problem. So her location ain't the problem. It's the mentality of the people in the location.
Okay. Now, how do you fight racism? Do you quit crying about it? Or do you go get your own shit and say, I don't need you? Because part of the problem is she was renting, right? When you're a renter, you get what you get.
But most of these businesses are storefronts they renting. Most of these black-owned businesses don't own the land. Again, I'm speaking outside my knowledge. I'm generalizing when I say that because I don't have the information in front of me. I'm generalizing.
And how many of them are complaining racism because they got ran out of the location?
Well, I mean,
when you're a renter, you get what you get.
Isn't that what happened to the people? So what I'm saying is, it don't really matter. They were in St. Bernard. It could have been in Over the Rhine. It could have been in the West End.
I doubt if she was written from a black person. More likely not.
Well, how often does that happen? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. A bar is not something I'm interested in owning or establishing. That's just
why not?
I know a guy
seems to be profitable.
Wants to own a sports bar.
Man, there's a renaissance of bars right now. The mayor in his latest State of the City, or maybe it was the one before that, he talked specifically about how bars and the bar culture is helping to revitalize Cincinnati. Why can't this sister be a part of it? Now, of course, she's in St. Bernard.
For the downtown yuppies, yeah. For the yuppies that live downtown, renting those buildings, Lytle Place, and got those luxury apartments down there where they kicking out $2,000 a month for an efficiency.
They got bars in Warner Hills opening up. They got bars all over the city opening up. North Side, you name
it. Exactly. And nice, what do you call that? Gentrify one of these. These are white folks' bars. Bars is a white man's game.
So now we get it. So bars is a white man game, and this sister never should have gotten to the bar business. I get it.
I didn't say that. I just said she should have chose a better location.
Okay.
That's just from where I'm sitting.
All right. We again, what'll be interesting is to hear her story tomorrow, because I don't know why she chose that place. Maybe she did because some things came together. They gave her a deal. You never know. That's also a part of it.
Same thing to the lady who owned the chicken and green store. Gave her a deal. She jumped. Not all deals are good money.
Who was that? Chickens and greens. Who are you talking about? Liz Rogers? Man, she sold more than chickens and greens. They had fish. They had all kind of stuff down there.
It was a soul food joint, wasn't it?
Man, that's one way of putting it.
So it was a soul food joint, so there was an abundance of fried chicken and greens.
To me, it was a black-owned restaurant, but I understand the point you're trying to make.
It was a soul food. Her niche was soul food.
Yep.
You could be black owned and sell burgers, chops, and steaks.
Right. True.
Her niche was soul food,
True.
which, like I said, which would be out of business today anyway because of this health food stuff, this health food kick. Now she would probably be leaning toward going out of business anyway if she hadn't been already.
Well, I mean, we can easily say that she would still be in business because you got a whole lot of Wait. The city is full of
fitness. I ain't never seen so many black folks in there.
There's definitely there's definitely a healthcare focus, but you can still find chicken and beer anywhere in the city. They ain't shit healthy about it.
No, there's not. But when you add greens and high carbs,
when you add a black woman, when you add a black woman who owns it, that's where the problem becomes.
I've heard about the service. I'm not going to get into that because I was never served there. Because when I saw the menu, I was just like, I'm good on that. But I've heard about the service. That's beside the point. She just made a bad business decision, just like this young lady, Nakia Grooms, and apparently she's got some connection to the Golden State bandwagoner, Brian. You know what I'm saying? Say what?
I'm just listening. I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Apparently she's got some connection with him, but that's no disrespect to him. I rock with him. You know what I'm saying? But I was just like, I just think that was a bad decision. Same like I said about Meghan Markle. You got to readjust your goals in that relationship. You knew what to expect being a part of a royal family. I mean, like the one royal family that the world has ever cared about.
The world?
I mean, that's the one we always hear about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when Prince Charles got married, it was on national TV here.
Yeah.
I remember being 5 or 6.
Hell, when they got married, when Meghan Markle got married, it was on news. It was on
national TV here.
I didn't watch it
because she's an American.
I didn't watch it,
but that was a little different with Charles with his dad. But it
That's
is what it is. Quit making bad decisions. And then claiming racism to bail you out of it.
Even how does it bail you out when that's the reason behind it? It's not a bailout.
I don't know. I quit putting yourself in bad spots.
Nah, I blame the racists.
No. I mean, well, you can blame them. That's fine, but at the same time, own some personal responsibility. Some personal responsibility because of your bad decision making.
Right. That's just like the black family that's the first one to move into the suburbs, and they end up leaving because of all the racism and just shit that happens to them. You would blame the black family, wouldn't you?
They wasn't ready for you.
Why you trying to move into that white neighborhood? Yeah,
you should have came a little deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Like we all know about one person that lives out in one of the most least diverse areas. He never complains.
I'm not sure you're talking about.
The Mahler, Mason Mahler. He never complains about being out there.
So what's your point?
Apparently when he moved out there, the suburbs were a little bit ready for him. He made a good decision. Everything is timing.
I mean, I don't know his backstory.
You know his backstory. Everybody know about that. The bus and everything. Come on now, stop fronting.
I ain't fronting. I'm just being real with you. I don't know the backstory. Like, for instance, I don't know if he's had issues. He just ain't talked about them. But like I said, I don't blame black people because they're the victims of racism because they dare to go into either open businesses or live in neighborhoods that people say black people shouldn't live in.
I'm just saying make better decisions. Black flight don't help nobody. Black flight ain't helping us. You make a bad decision and you leave it to, and then here you go on your little soapbox. Oh, you being mean to black women again. Blah blah blah. No, I just don't respect the bad decision. That's all. There was a better decision to be made.
Yeah, that's your kick, man. I get it, man. That's your stick. You all about making sure people don't make bad decisions.
It ain't no stick.
It's a stick.
Real, B.
It's a stick that you apply to every scenario, whether it works or not. That's what you're doing, and that's okay. I'm okay with it.
And that reminds me, okay, whatever. That reminds me, though. Speaking of the Black Lion. No. I was talking to somebody about that, and I'm just like, on some level, he kind of playing himself. Because as long as I've listened to you, and as long as he has, if you ever ban me from this show for a day, I just will never listen again. Like, okay, it's like that between us. There's no need for me to listen. I'm not going to keep calling in and letting you hang up. Like there's some running gag with Tommy and Martin. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, hopefully we never have to take it there.
Exactly, but I'm just saying, like, I was telling somebody that, like, he kind of playing himself doing that. But that's just me, though. But, yeah, you get Tracy Hunter on here, and I'll gladly give her the business.
Oh, now you're going to give her the business. When you had a chance to, when I had her in studio,
go back and run that clip, Nathan.
I don't have to run the clip. I said it to you in real time that same day. Same day, I said it to you. Oh, now you're going to change your energies of what I said to you. Your energy completely changed.
Okay. It's whatever. The tape don't lie. You got it. Run it back. Go back to my call, and I'll holler at you at another moon, B. Oh!
It's a nice, hearty, throaty howl right there. Put some soul into it. Yeah, I mean, I just hope it never goes there. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very fair, judicious man. But I'm not here to be disrespected by no one. I ain't having it. It ain't going down like that. Not when I'm in control. It's just too easy to hit the button. And, but I hear you, bro, B. 513-873-7134. I will not blame this woman because she wanted to open a business in St. Bernard. No. And see, what people forgot is that's how we got to where we are now, by people pushing the envelope and pushing against racism. But we wouldn't have the freedom to move that we have now if it wasn't for the people before us that did that. Now, when people did in the civil rights era, we called them pioneers and civil rights activists, and we give them props. But I'm supposed to shit on this sister because she chose to go to St. Bernard. And again, none of us know have the details of how the deal actually came together. I mean, if you care that much about her, then your ass should have found a place for her to get if you care that much. If you're going to question her deal, then you should be able to come in and give her a deal. You know what I'm saying? See, that's what's wrong with black folks right there. Some of that anyway. Some of that was cool. That's the reason right there. Oh, why you go out there? Not what happened to you. Not what did they do? How can we help? But you shouldn't have went out there. You know they don't want you in St. Bernard. There was a time they didn't want you. There's a plenty of black people living in neighborhoods right now where 15 years ago, your ass, they didn't want you there. 20 years ago, they didn't want you there. Somebody got to be a pioneer. Somebody's got to push the envelope. It takes people of courage. As simple as that. Simple as that. But what do you think? 513, I'm still here. 513-873-7134. Yeah, Liz Ross, you know she went on the banks because she was selling soul food. I don't give a damn what. She could be selling flavored ice. I don't care what she was selling. It makes no difference. You know, she could have been selling French fries with hot sauce and ketchup and mustard in a paper bag with some pieces of bread. I don't give a damn. So what? Oh, Martin Luther King, you know you weren't supposed to be trying to get the bus. Oh, I mean, I'm just saying, man, that mentality to me is overall a self-defeating mentality. You got to stay in your place. Ain't no place. What you mean place? See, I'm a big believer in making people do what they say they're going to do or rock it till they tell you to stop. If I wanted to open a business in St. Bernard, I ain't worried about what these Negroes or non-Negroes in St. Bernard think. I'm trying to open a business to my clientele. You running an honest business. You don't have no violations. You ain't like you selling drugs. It's not like you selling children, trafficking children. You selling beer and alcohol and wings like every other bar in the city of Cincinnati or in the greater Cincinnati area. So that's just my take on it. But again, I don't know the backstory. I don't know why. Maybe she had a good reason that she went there. Maybe she did. Tracy writes, Shane. That's because Tracy said the same thing. She's like, why you open a bar there? Well, again, I'm not showing up with loan deals for people. So I'm not going to tell people where their businesses should be or not be. Like, to me, if you're going to question where a person going to put their bar, then you got to put some money into it. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're going to give me a whole lot of questions about some shit I'm doing, you're going to have to put some money into it for me to listen to you. What am I, like a kid over here? She's a grown-ass woman doing what she want to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is amazing. I can't believe this. She is a grown-ass woman doing what she want to do. I don't know how many people in here chipped in and spent some money with her to make sure she got to where she was trying to get to. Something tells me zero. But now people want to criticize where her business was. That's crazy. That's crazy. That ain't the issue. Hopefully she'll find a better place if that's what she wants to do. I don't get it. Just saying. You know what I'm saying? When you're going to start criticizing where people locate their businesses, you got to show it with some money to help them get to a place where you think they can be successful. At the very least, I think you should show up before you criticize and sprinkle some money in there to help this sister or these black-owned businesses before people start lobbying a lot of criticisms. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think personally. That's just the way I conduct myself. I mean, I just don't think I got the even place to tell somebody where they should locate their business unless I'm chipping in with the relocation costs. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at the world. Put your money where your mouth is. If you really, feel like it's a bad location and all this kind of stuff, help her out. You know what I'm saying? Promote it. Go over there and get some wings or something. But again, I'm looking forward. That's tomorrow morning, and I'll confirm with the time with you between now and then and put it in the friends page if you want to hear that conversation with Nakia Grooms. I'm even more into the conversation now after hearing Fame and his ridiculous take. Yet another black woman that he wants to criticize. I don't get it. That's what we're doing? Thank you so much, Pat. Thank you. I'm aware of it. Yeah, I just became aware of it. Come on now. Martin Luther King pursuing his dream, a history of black journalism in Cincinnati. Now, I don't necessarily have a history of black journalism in Cincinnati in my flow bag. But I can give you my history of journalism in Cincinnati and, just the experiences and involvement, of me. I see Ask Ashley, one of my favorite local digital podcasters. Let me see. I see anybody else. Of course, Alexis Rogers. Shout out to Alexis. I'm sure these other individuals are super fantastic in what they do. I just don't recognize their faces. Readily available. Jan Michelle Kearney. The one of the publishers or the publisher of the Cincinnati Herald. She'll be a part of the conversation. And that'll be, let me see tomorrow. Let me see. That'll be at 3 p.m. at the Cincinnati Museum Center in the Newsreel Theater. Okay, that's coming up on January the 20th, and I'll be there as well, and we'll chop it up. We'll see how it goes. Shane Sunrise, now your energy changed and calling me names. The lady made an error. I mean, you just kind of got to me. I mean, you got to me, man. I got a little irritated because I feel like we always criticizing each other for the stupid shit. Like criticizing that woman about where her location is to me. While we all know the realities of the cultures of these different neighborhoods, it's ultimately self-defeating, in my humble opinion. But it is what it is. And you did change your energy, Fame. You was talking all kind of slick and greasy. I finally get the sister Tracy Hunter on the show. She's in studio, not on the phone. So she's in studio, able to take your phone calls. You call in and now you all soft and trying to be polite. You know what I'm saying? It's not right. Drop Rice, Nate, here you go. Speculation and conjecture. Tracy writes, and I'm not spending a dime because my opinion is different. Fuckery, she writes. Okay. I mean, we can agree to disagree. Nothing wrong with that. Tracy writes, folks be screaming, shop black, buy from black-owned businesses, but set up shop in white territory and say, treat me fair, make it make sense. I don't understand this white territory thing. I don't understand that, Tracy. I don't understand it. If you might have a business that for whatever reason works in the St. Bernard area due to, I don't know, resources that are there. If you're a black entrepreneur, business owner, should you not take the opportunity just because it's St. Bernard? To me, I don't see that. I don't see that. Like, shoot, I'm sure if she had her druthers, if you opened a bar, we could probably come up with some neighborhoods that would be like ripe for a new bar, although I think we are past the bar threshold. But let's say you come up with a new idea. Maybe you got an underground bar, or you got a bar where it's nothing but fish tanks, or if you got a bar where everybody plays chess every day or some shit like that. You know, we could probably say there's some areas that you would think off the top of your head, like maybe near the college campuses. You got Xavier UC, or you know, maybe in certain neighborhoods. But don't people try? The other thing about that is people don't just go to their neighborhood bar in Cincinnati. They travel. So let me say here, there's a sister, let me say this. There's a sister who, what's the sister's name? Because everybody in Cincinnati, the people in the city of Cincinnati know her. Liz Rogers, her new space is in white territory. It's out in the burbs. Is she wrong for that? Hell no. Hell no, she ain't wrong with that. J-Rod's got a spot that's out in the burbs. I think people is just, you know, I think people are getting caught up on the wrong thing. I really do. What's the sister's name? And I can see her face in my head. And she just opened up a space. Zola Stewart. Zola Stewart just opened up a space out in the burbs. It ain't in the black neighborhood. Is she done for that? No. But I can go on and on for making this point. I think I've made it. Let me read your chat here. Tony writes, it ain't the first time a royal gave up the crown. Not that Harry is. Technically, Elizabeth ain't supposed to be the queen. Her uncle gave up the crown to his youngest brother and her father. Is that right? Karamir writes 12 minutes ago, the caller has been trained well by white folks. He knows his place. To Whitey. Is that right? I think I'm not sure what he's talking about. Maybe 12 minutes ago was the last call. Maybe. I'm not sure. So if somebody says, look, you got a chance to open up a spot in Blue Ash, you ain't supposed to do it. Talking about Liz Rogers, where was her business before she went to the banks? It went in the black community. So this whole idea of white territory, F that. Get in where you fit in and make your money in a legal way the way you can. And if people have a problem with it, you got to deal with it, you know, as these things come up. Like, I can't wait to talk to her tomorrow, because looking back in hindsight, she might say, oh, now that all this stuff has happened, now I can see different things. But when you're in the beginning of something like that and you get an opportunity, you're trying to make it happen, Captain. You're trying to get it popping. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to get it jumping off. You're trying to spark that flame. You're not thinking about the fact that this is a white town or it's a white neighborhood. You're thinking, I got a bar. I'm trying to put people in the bar and make money. That's what I was thinking. That's what I would be thinking. Let me see. Let's see here. Tracy's going in. Tracy writes, Liz's business was in the blackest part of Hamilton. What are you talking about? Okay. Shane Sun writes, Liz Rogers was in Hamilton. Broke white people eat chicken and greens, not downtown yuppies. Yeah, we're on today. Listen, somebody said that the process of impeachment is underway. Let me switch gears here. Pelosi is now naming the so-called prosecutors, and these are going to people that are going to move this case against Donald Trump forward. They call them the managers of the impeachment. That's what they're called. Big news conference within the last 15 minutes. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, so here's going to be Adam Schiff is going to be the lead impeachment manager. The 6 other managers are going to be Jerry Nadler of New York, Zoe Lofgren of California, Hakeem Jeffries of New York, Val Demings of Florida, Jason Crow of Colorado, and Sylvia Garcia from Texas. These are going to be the Democrats. She actually put out a tweet. These are going to be the Democrats. I'm looking at it right now. These are going to be the Democrats that are going to lead the impeachment trial of the president of the United States. And 2 of them are people of color. That would be Congresswoman Val Demings of Florida, and also Hakeem Jeffries from New York, just so if you were interested in that. Some of these names and faces you've probably seen a lot, like Adam Schiff, Jerry Nadler. You've seen these individuals quite a bit if you've been watching the impeachment scenario. So now we're going to get moving so the Republicans in the Senate can give Trump an acquittal, because that's what's going to happen. Mason writes, Val Demings and Hakeem Jeffries are the truth. I don't know a lot about Val, but I do know Hakeem Jeffries is the truth. Drop writes, pencil neck. Drop writes, soul food is a very successful business model in the black community. Is it? Kermit writes, 3 white restaurants have closed in Hyde Park. 1 urgent care center opened up in Hyde Park. They're all doing well. Black-owned urgent care in Hyde Park. I did hear about them, moving in over there. That's great. I guess those white bars that went out of town were in the wrong part of town. They should have been in the black part of town. Ray writes, I don't believe she made an error in location. They should be held accountable, whatever that means, for pushing her out. Right. I don't even know what that means. Like, I don't even know if she has any recourse. But we'll find out. We'll find out tomorrow. But listen, folks, thank you for being here. We're almost into 11, and I got to make a move. Have an excellent day. We'll catch up real soon. My name is Nathan Ivey for Sin Digital Media, a new urban voice in the city of Cincinnati. And until next time, that's tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., I'm out.